Now let's hop on over to our last segment of the evening. What tight ends are a dynasty buy for you? Evan, we'll start with your rookie for a rebuild.
Yeah, rookie for a rebuild is a rookie. So we're going to go with Elijah Arroyo here. What do I want out of a tight end on my fantasy team? I want an uber athlete. I want somebody that can make one catch, take the ball 40 yards, and score a touchdown. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need that tight end that's going to go 5 yards. Be that perfect NFL caliber tight end that's just going to get 10 targets a game, 5 yards of reception. Just move the chains for his quarterback. Be that security blanket to the quarterback. That's not what I want out of this class. I want tight ends that are going to be able to streak down the field, be able to stress the safeties, be able to stress any kind of linebacker that, for whatever reason, a defensive coordinator would say, hey, go try and guard that Arroyo guy. Yeah, that's just going to be bad news for any kind of linebacker that has to do it. You could put Fred Warner on Elijah Arroyo, and I still think Elijah Arroyo has a chance.
You love Elijah Arroyo, and it's honestly, I need to stop listening to you because I keep bumping him up. I keep putting him higher. Go check out the Football Guys Rookie Guide. Check out the tight end rankings. Bob is doing the editing. I'm doing way too much writing. You guys heard it in the last episode. But Bob, who is your dynasty buy for a rebuild?
Well, when I look at the Football Guys Rookie Guide, I see somebody comp to Mark Andrews, the player we've all coveted as like arguably the best receiver on the Baltimore Ravens, regardless of position, until very recently. I'm looking at the player comp for Mason Taylor, but more so, like, look, again, I'm not a draft pick, people. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But when I watch the scouting combine and I see the silky smooth goodness of Mason Taylor running the gauntlet drill, brought back visions of Vincent Jackson doing it. Just smooth and easy moving, quick feed, all the things you like. LSU product. Maybe this year it's the tight end version of their usual wide receiver output. I'm going to go with this. I think it'll be a little cheaper, and maybe people are looking at him. And by the way, I think I also pay a lot of attention to my colleague at Football Guys and the rookie scouting portfolio author, Matt Waldman, who is almost as high on him as I am.
Yep. Bumped Mason Taylor up. I don't think he brings – Arroyo could be that athletic freak, brings a lot after the catch. Very exciting in that department. Taylor just gets open, catches the ball, gets down, gets the first down. We comped him to the Tyler Lockett of tight ends, which complimentary, not derogatory. So lots of things to like there. I'm going to give you guys a player that's actually in the league right now. That Evan, great call out last year. He said the Keenan Allen signing was killer for this player. He is still 26 years old. I think he might even still be 25. He was a wee baby when he entered the league. Cole Kmet. Big contract, new coach. Caleb Williams, year 2. Talked about the rookie impact to the pass catchers over at Last Word on Sports. Go check that out. But I think this is going to be a bounce back year for Cole Kmet. And at tight end 22 prices, it's only going to get higher. There's a lot to like there.
Yeah, the prices alone is enough for me, right? That's just dirt cheap for a guy who's in an ascending, what should be an ascending offense with Ben Johnson there. I don't think you can go wrong unless they add Arroyo in the draft.
That would be a nightmare. We are talking about on a per year basis. This is the 7th highest paid tight end in the league. 26 years old, just behind David Njoku and Mark Andrews. So they're stuck with him. All right. Whether you like Cole Kmet or not, put him on your dynasty leagues.
Fair.
All right. Now let's flip the switch. Let's talk about crusty old tight ends. I know this is why you guys wanted to hear this. You wanted to hear us talk about the old position that you hate. Evan, who is your dynasty buy for competing teams?
Yeah, mine is very clearly David Njoku. If you haven't listened to our tight end rankings, feel free, please give that a listen. We appreciate all the support. But David Njoku was in that tier of win now pieces that you want, because what does he do? He scores points, he scores points, he scores points. This Browns team, it's tough to look at. All right. Like, that is about the nicest way that you can put it. The entire offensive line took a step back this entire season, probably had their worst season since 2021 as a unit, which says that it's been a while for how bad they played. Man. Okay. Tillman, Judy. I mean, do either of those guys inspire any confidence that they'll be the clear one? I like Judy in the target share that he could potentially get. I think he could be an absolute target hog in that offense. But David Njoku is the dynamic weapon at the position where dynamic weapons are minuscule. It's a desert. All right. The tight end position is an absolute desert right now. We are desperately clamoring for this year's class with all of the tight ends that are coming in. That's what we want to see. David Njoku's fought through so much to be able to continue to produce for the city of Cleveland, and he will be the shining star of this Cleveland Browns offense this coming season.
Look, trade for David Njoku, trade for Kenny Pickett, get the stack. Come on, we love the stacks. Yeah, that feels gross to say out loud. Bob, any concerns with Njoku's quarterback play heading into 2025?
He's been relatively quarterback proof over his time in Cleveland, because you kind of have to be. I mean, not like DeAndre Hopkins, Andre Johnson level in Houston, but or we've seen other players do it, but it has been very good for him. DJ Moore, probably the champion quarterback proof player right now, but at the tight end position, I don't see anyone any more quarterback proof than David Njoku, who, man, is when he's on the field, he's likely to be the second leading asset. There are going to be guys popped up, the names you mentioned. They're going to have good games, but consistent weekly production. When he's on the field, it's David Njoku on that offense.
No notes.
Over 125 targets here. This coming season, over 125 targets.
That seems like a lot.
It does.
All right. Bob, who is your dynasty buy low?
So the correct answer, you're not going to get a great price on it, but with the incoming rookie class, that's your only hope. Jonnu Smith, when people maybe think it was a one-year wonder, I think it is not. I think Mike McDaniels has been looking for this difference-making piece in his offense. The guy who became the star of this receiving game or the passing game for the Miami Dolphins, relegating Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle to scramble for the leftovers. Look, I don't know if it'll be that level again. But I do think, you look at the targets, my fantasy points data suite loves him. But you look at all the numbers, the target share, 18% was 7th among tight ends, yards per route runs, first read shares, all the numbers that the wonky guys love. He produces, but more than that, I go back to the old size and speed. It's very hard to cover by the people who are forced to cover him because he is much faster than they. That's what it boils down to. And in an innovative offense, I think Mike McDaniels, add to the buzz there. I think that last year maybe we saw a little of the shine come off what people, the perception going into the season. I expect that offense to rebound, keep Tua Tagovailoa on the field for a full 17 games, and Jonnu Smith is going to have a monster year.
Yeah, draft the fast guy in the fast guy offense. No notes. Great thing. You get 0.01 extra points over Evan. You can get him for the 2-0. Oh Lord, if you search Smith, there's way too many names. 209, 210. If you want to roll the dice on a rookie tight end, go for it. Or you can just plug it and play the points. Last dynasty buy in this series, Zach Ertz, a bajillion years old. Resigns with the Commanders. Is coming off a fairly solid season for them. We're talking about the tight end 7 on the year. Ben Sinnott train, just going to have to wait. I'm sorry, guys. But Zach Ertz wants to keep playing. He's playing with a good quarterback. If they add another receiver, it's going to bump him down. But we're talking about tight end 31, 32 prices because of the risk of retirement. That is obviously gone. But even if the price comes up, you're talking about a third, fourth, if he's still sitting on a team that isn't competing this year. Wait until you're on the clock. Go get Zach Ertz. Use him on bye weeks if you already have a Bowers, you already have an Andrews, you already have the ghost of Travis Kelce. Just get all of the old guys, rotate through them, and enjoy the ride.
Tight end 11 last year.
We'll take that. We will take that. Was that points per game?
I believe yes.
All right. I had season long, so it's just he was healthy too. For a 34-year-old guy, we'll take that. So any concerns with Zach Ertz moving forward?
Only age, and for me, obviously, I'm not that worried about that. Look, for a win now, I think it's a good spot. They did bring back Jonathan Bates. They thought he might move on. That I think crushing more for Ben Sinnott. who may have trouble getting on the field in 2 tight end sets again. For that very reason, that Bates is a super blocker, and the relationship it seems to have established. Jane Daniels likes his older teammates. It turns out, whether it's Warner or Zach Ertz. I mean, they likes the leadership. I think the Commanders value that, and they're going to keep him in the mix.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of our Dynasty buys. If you guys have kept along this long, be sure to like and subscribe, help the channel out. We're 2/3 of the way to 1,000. You guys rule. Thank you for all of the love, but let's give Bob some love, who's crushed it throughout all of this. Bob, where can they find you? Where should they follow you? Because they all should.
On the social medias at Football Diehard. It's easy to find. You can catch me at Football Guys. My weekly notebook is available there every weekend. It's free of charge for all comers. So we'll sign up for the email as well. We're in the off-season mode, so you get one on Thursday and Sunday that kind of keeps you up to speed on everything you need to know. Then once the draft hits, we'll go back to the usual everyday email, news every day, all kinds of great content from people like Mike Kashuba, which is fantastic. So check it out. And also, I'll be heavily involved in the SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Channel draft coverage coming up later next month. And then when July hits, you'll not be able to escape. 7 days a week, as usual, on the fantasy and NFL radio channels on SiriusXM for at least 2 hours a day. You can't get away from me.
That's awesome. Got to tune in. I might buy a SiriusXM subscription just to listen to you more.
Buy a car instead and just use the one that comes with that.
Perfect. Evan, make sure to download that in your new truck. Glad you got a new one. They can follow you at FFRPG Pod because you are allergic to social media. Bob, thanks for joining us. People, thanks for listening. And Evan, I love you.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Football RPG Podcast. If you made it this far, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to check out written content, head over to lastwordonsports.com.
Don't the goblins get you?